Now, when the governor defected with his entire cabinet, there's an appointee that did not defect. And he's been in the media saying, talking about certain things that are not in the proper shape. Are you also reaching out to this individual to bring him back to your fold? Because he seemed not to be happy with the fact that you left the PDP for APC. So what are you doing? What is your government doing about that individual?
Well, there are certain things you must understand. I must make it clear here that no member of the cabinet moved the other way. And the cabinet is the highest decision-making body of any
He's an appointee.
Any government. Yes, I'm coming there.
Okay.
We have a whole lot of appointees. And why do we have those appointees? We believe that beyond those of us who are operating at a higher level, where you talk about the executive arm of the government, where decisions are made, that there is a need for us to be able to also manage certain localities. There are individuals that are appointed for the purpose of helping us to manage certain tendencies in their area, which means a smaller community. Why do we do so? We believe that once you talk about security and governance and be able to cascade that decision at the higher level to the lower level, that you need these individuals to be able to come in. So if because of certain local peculiarities or possibly tendencies, if you like, in that environment where that individual is from, he is not able to move or he has other interests, you do not begrudge him. It is not unexpected. I am happy you are even just able to point out one. You are not saying this group of people or this community or this larger interest. When you have people at the level of SA, SSA, they are made to be able to help us to take down the policies and programs of government to the people. They are not usually among those who are at the point of policy making. They could help us to step up some policy initiation by reaching out to the other persons who may be a little higher in terms of the middle political class. In which case, he has an issue, he takes it to either an executive assistant or he takes it to a special advisor who may have cause to either discuss with the commissioner in charge of that particular ministry or maybe run it through the chief of staff or through the SSG. So when such persons at that lower level takes a decision, you will need to examine a whole lot of things. Much as yes, they are desired to be in the bigger picture, you will need to examine the tendencies that may have led to that individual taking that decision before you begin to take your own action. Now, when an appointee who is a member of government decides, for instance, that I don't want to move out of this party, and in any case, he was not even a member of the PDP before, the person you are talking about. He contested the election on the platform of the Labour Party. The governor, out of his magnanimity, thought there was the need to bring everybody together, and the person was given an appointment. So which means, ab initio, he was not part of the political family. He was being brought into the family. And so if you leave, even if you left and say, I'm not doing this, you did not raise those issues you are raising now, which means you're only going back to where you originally belonged, that the governor wanted to be able to bring you into the bigger picture. And then you are now painting pictures that are completely at variance with reality, all because you want to now satisfy the tendencies that you originally belong. But you know what? Oborowori is mindful of the need to get everybody to be on the same table. Usually, it is not always easy to place everybody on the same table, but as much number that we could bring to the same table so that decision making becomes easier, interaction with our people becomes much more smoother than it ordinarily should. We do not begrudge anybody who take that kind of decision. That is why you see that we're not joining issues with anybody. All we do is to be able to ensure that we are the one in charge now. We must realize that individuals who may not be at the center also do have a right. And it is all for us to manage them, and that's what we're doing.
All right. Now, let's bring on board the National Coordinator, Young Nigerians Rights Organization, Victor O.J. He joins us live via Zoom. He was the special advisor to the governor of Owerri, who refused to defect from the PDP with the governor Consequently, he resigned his appointment. Good morning.
He wasn't the special advisor.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning,
Mr. OJ.
I'm senior special. I was senior special assistant.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
a special advisor. I was never a special advisor.
All right.
Okay.
Senior special assistant.
That is noted. That is
NGOs.
noted.
Correction taken. Well, Ms. Tega Sholokwe accused you of leaving Governor Sheriff Overori's cabinet out of political and ethnic bias, not out of genuine concern for security, which you mentioned. What's your response to that?
Everybody has a right to freedom of expression. And first, let me correct the impression of the Honorable Commissioner Information and Rural Works, Chasanyagu, who happens to be my good friend. Harrison Kwamishu was a member of PDP prior to him joining the Labour Party to contest for House of Assembly. And eventually he fell back to the PDP because the PDP saw the need to bring him back to the fold. Like you rightly said, everybody must be carried along. Second, the reason why I was the one that told Harrison Kwamishu to resign. After I resigned, I called him to go and resign because of the insecurity that my community and our local government and, in fact, Delta State was facing. That was why we actually resigned, because governance, it was like the government now focused on politics as against the critical service delivery to the people. That was why we actually resigned. But the good news is that, one, everything has turned around. Everything has changed for good currently in Delta State, because the governor saw reasons with us by way of their actions silently. As we speak, the Commissioner of Police, kudos to him, the Delta State Commissioner of Police, kudos to him. Silently, he has done so much. Even the DSS director, state director, they have been doing a lot since April that we resigned to now. They have done a lot of arrests, made a lot of arrests.
Now, Mr. OJ, let me come in here, please. Mr. OJ, let me come in here.
Yes.
Yeah, you're saying that the Commissioner of Police is doing so well, that the government is doing so well. Are you saying that it is because you resigned and that is why the government is beginning to do those things? I need it clear, please.
See, as civil rights activists, our goal is for accountability in government. Our goal is to be watchdog. Our goal is to bring insights to the government. Areas that the government cannot see, we are mandated to call their attention to it. And so far so good, I must be sincere, I am not into satanic activism. The government of Delta State, Governor Sheriff Oberowori, since April that myself, Comrade Victor OJ, popularly called One Box, resigned alongside my village brother, Harrison Kwamishu. Since we resigned, the governor improved the state ESCOs, the security agencies, they all improved their activities for the people.
That's sort of an indictment on your reasons. Sorry, Mr. OJ, if you allow me to come in here, isn't that like speaking from both sides of your mouth? Because when you say that you left his camp because he was failing to respond to issues of insecurity, and now you're saying he has improved on them, does it not suggest that you were not doing the right thing when you were in the camp of the governor? Or we are not speaking up for that until you left, and now you're seeing improvement?
Okay.
Mr. OJ.
Yeah, Honorable Commissioner, you just heard what he said, that things have improved, and that since they left, that the governor has decided to now work on certain areas.
Well, thank you very much.
Before you mention that, I hear that he's back. So you can, if you can respond to my question. Did you hear me, or I need to ask again?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, go ahead.
I'm saying that there is improvements. Initially, it was all about 2027 politics. Then, upon our resignation, things change for good. Things change for good, and we should give it to the government since they are doing well. If they are not doing well, we are going to hold them accountable. That is why we are civil rights activists. That is why we hold them. That's why there is need for transparency and accountability. That's our role. Our role is to ensure that the welfare of the people, the dividend of democracy, is prioritized. Now that the government of Delta State has turned around for good, it's not an indictment. If the government improves, you give them, you appreciate them.
All right,
and it's not a crime to appreciate the government that is now working.
All right, Mr. Honorable Commissioner, he's saying that the price of his resignation is the turnaround for good in Delta States.
Well, let me appreciate my brother Wombox, Victor, for recognizing and at least speaking the truth on this particular issue, and that is good coming from him. But to say that what he's saying is because he resigned, that cannot be true. Number one, if you talk about improvement, government and governance is about daily improvement of the lives of the people. No matter how well you have done, you are brought in to take it to the next level. The governance agenda is anchored on 4 thematic areas, could name more. And of course, you know what more means. More means addition to what is on ground. So, and more means also an improvement in terms of governance. Maybe perhaps now he's having more time to look more closely. There are a number of things that we were doing before. So when I heard them before say this is not happening, I said that's not true. Before that time, let's talk about the security which you talked about. Before the time we're talking about, the governor has made available not less than 60 brand new vehicles for security agencies. That didn't happen in the course of their resignation. That has happened long before that time. The issues of assisting the security agencies in terms of intelligence gathering and providing them equipment for the purpose of enhancing communication. That didn't just happen. All those things have been on ground. The continuous interaction at the level of the Security Council meeting have always happened. That didn't just happen now. So if now it is now that he's saying it, good enough, I am happy that he's saying it. But to begin to ascribe it to issue of resignation, no, that cannot be the situation. Oborowori's commitment have always been from day one. Even from, for instance, the local government where my brother Wombox is from, which is a Neotansa local government. We know the amount of development. Just yesterday, the contractor handling a road in a place called Ejema Nyogo, Bidubu Kukwabo stretch, which is about 6.7 kilometers, sent me the video of the completion of the project which I am supervising directly. And immediately I directed my director in charge of rural to go and visit to know if there are 1 or 2 things to be done. The only thing left in that particular road now is the road marking. That is part of his own community. We didn't build that road because he resigned. We built it as part of the ongoing transformation of infrastructure across the length and breadth of our state. We have been talking about a twin bridge, the Ubu Bridge, which is also in his local government. We are also working, we have completed the Ishago Ewulu first phase. Why am I mentioning it? All these projects are also linked to our ability to empower our people and improve the security situation. So all those things have been on. And we will continue. We do not get angry or join issues with anybody who critique our government. We even want people to critique us in such a way that you are speaking the truth on the different issues.
Honorable Commissioner, unfortunately, we've run out of time. I really hope we could have more on this discussion, but time is not our friend. We'll definitely bring you back to discuss about the developments in Delta State, exactly. But that's where we'll leave the conversation today.
Thank you very much. The rest assured that anytime we'll come because we'll have it, and we also want you to come so that you can see what looks like primary knowledge of the issues.
All right. Victor OJ, we also say thank you for joining us on the program this morning. It was a delight.
Thank you for having me.